Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
Oh, sorry, I'm smiling. My mentor sent me a message. I love the woman so much.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, go on.
So basically yesterday, I think what actually caught my attention was the fact that I was able to publish my dashboard such that I could share the link with.
And I call you baby.
Actually, see how interactive the dashboard is. That was actually my pick yesterday, and I look forward to an interesting.
You actually went to experiment your own data set, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I'm so blown away. That is amazing, honestly.
Thank you very much.
You're gonna go far because the real pudding is not in being part of the class. It's actually doing. That's the real juice. And you've proven. I feel so much joy inside my heart. There's an announcement I'm going to release. I can't believe it anyway. It's like, it's surreal what I'm about to announce. So was
You're bursting.
Oh no, it's not.
Well done, Stephen. It was lovely to hear that you actually participated and learned and applied what you learned. That's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you, Yapo. Sorry, who else wants to go? It doesn't matter if you didn't practice like Stephen. You're okay. You just want feedback. Who wants to go next? Who wants to go next? Nobody else? Nobody else. Okay. Anyway, let me start. It was interactive. Okay. My children are actually in the class with me. It's one of them that typed the message. Okay, I'm going to mute everyone now. Only the co-hosts are unmuted. So, Grace, unmute yourself. I want to hear your voice. It's not typing. They say, Ojulo Rowa. So please.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Look at a beautiful voice.
Well, I learned some more on the BI. I've been practicing BI recently, and some functions or some functions on the ribbons that
I lost you there.
They were okay. There's some aspects I didn't know about, but it opened, my learning to the entire BI package. I've been actually looking forward to learn from you guys. Even though I've been learning, I went ahead when I saw your lineup of things you'll be teaching. I went ahead to start learning BI, and actually, his what he did yesterday was really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. I mean, this is the best class I can ever ask for. I'm super excited about tonight, and especially the announcement. So let me try and get my slides ready. I'm going to present. I'm going to start in like 5 because we have 2 powerful presentations today. So give me a second. I shall share my screen and I'll start recording. Okay, so everyone is going to go mute except for the co-host. I don't know if Deji, is Lukman here? If Deji is here.
Yeah, Deji is here.
I wanted to mute everybody. Deji, did you hear the feedback? People were adorers.
At least the feedback is impressive, encouraging. I'm happy to hear that. Cool.
Awesome. Super excited. Bolu is presenting, Nache.
Myself taking the presentation.
Okay. It could have, okay.
We both created PowerPoint.
Okay. It's okay. No problem. Doyin, are you here? So, okay, you're here.
Yes,
Everybody that needs to be made a co-host is a co-host. Please make sure everybody turn your video off because all videos are going to be off. Right? The purpose of host tonight is to learn. Turn your video off and no distraction. So I'm going to start. Thank you again. Honestly, I mean, this is the most fulfilled I've been. I've been working like a horse for the last couple of months. Guys, my class is on for the last couple of months. And this is the most fulfilled with all the numbers of people that I've trained in the last couple of months. I think this is something that solidifies the direction that God really wants us to go as a business and the impact that we are going to achieve. By the time I tell you what the good news is, you'll be more pumped and more excited. So just give me a second. You know, I had to look for something that can wrap up what I'm trying to say or where I'm going. It's an African proverb, actually a Nigerian proverb that I found online. It says, "It is not fishing. If you don't have a net, it is simply bathing." So you can see the fisherman with that noose or whatever they call it. There's a technique that he has learned over the years for a very long time and consistently tried to do that and has perfected it. If you don't know how to do that, you are just simply playing. So the goal of tonight, oh, Sugar, I've not muted everybody. Sorry, I'll mute everyone. Co-host, you can unmute. So if you don't have the necessary tools to succeed, it's like you're playing. And that's not the focus for me. I need everybody to have the right expertise, the technical know-how to be able to succeed in this industry. Oh my God. I want you guys to watch this video. It's important that I want your feedback once you watch it, please. Can I ask everybody watching that video, what's your key takeaway? What's your key takeaway? 2 words, 1 word, please drop it in the chat room. What's your key takeaway? Power of unity. Excuse me. Teamwork. Yes, collaboration is key. Synergy, yes. Teamwork, cooperation. Teamwork yields results, absolutely. Collaboration, yes. Perfect, we're saying the same thing. That's the key word there. Teamwork, that's it. Good leadership, absolutely, spot on, yes. But the point I'm trying to achieve is this, you know, I like one of my friend that is an agile coach said to me, he said, do you know that, no disrespect to the Indians or Asians, their English is not half as good as us that speak the English, but they get the best jobs, you know? And it's because they know how to collaborate. They know how to work together. Ari was saying yesterday how it is that Indian person will go into a job, they don't know it all. They ask them, they go rush to the toilets. They quickly call another Patel. Hey, this is what is going on. Can you help? And they will put him through right there. That's where Africa is missing it. Everybody wants to be a superstar. Everybody wants to be a champion. We don't want to know what it means to collaborate. We don't want to know what it means to work together. This is agile that I'm actually putting into full force, where different people with different expertise are coming up to show you how to win. Anyway, so as you can see from that video, collaboration is key. And this is what we're trying to tell you. How does this all tie together? Working in an agile team is all about collaborating. It's very empirical, it's very iterative. You're gonna, the success of collaboration is through you communication. It helps you, the process, I don't know what to say, but you know, but this is the, you saw in that video what you can do collectively. So until Africans start to say, we need each other, we need to work together. That's the only way we can actually scale. So tonight, without much ado, yes, I wanted to finish in less than 10. Awesome. I want to introduce our facilitators for tonight. I want to introduce our facilitators for tonight. Nache is my friend. Okay. Nache, like what? When this business started, when I went on Yelumelu, it was one of the people that really worked with me. And I mentioned what I wanted to do. The name LEARNTOR was birth. He said he was in the toilet and the Holy Spirit dropped it on him. I didn't come up with this name. You know, we were debating on names to give the business, although the idea was mine, you know, and he just said, Mercy, I just came out of the toilet. What do you think of LEARNTOR? Me? Heartbeat, as he said it. I don't go, I bought the URL, I bought the domain name, I bought not just one domain, I bought all the 4 domain names that would give me any stress. I went on social media, I locked it, I was like, how come this name is still available? So that's who Nache is. He's a BA, he works with KPMG, is a great soul, okay? And is here to lend his expertise. He's not here in Nigeria, KPMG in the UK. He's collecting Iya Charlie's money. So this is another gentleman that is really after my heart as well. And his name is, Okwade Adedoyin. I met him through Lookman, the developer that you guys were. So I heard a lot of you say, wow, this guy is good at what he does. You understand? It brought him on board and his spirit is so infectious. His heart is something that I really sincerely celebrate, to be honest. And another person that is joining us, which I didn't remember that it was part of today, is Bolu as well. Bolu is in Ireland. He's another great mind. I'm not even going to minimize words with that. He's part of the people that supported what I was doing when LEARNTOR was about being birthed. And I do celebrate people, and I believe strongly in collaboration. I believe strongly in bringing people together, and collectively we win. Nache, are you ready?
Yes, I am. And good evening, everyone.
I stopped sharing the screen. Please, all videos turned off. Fumilayo, I stop your video. Thank you.
Okay, so I could take control of the screen.
Yes, you're a co-host.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. and welcome to day 2, Agile Career Open Day Business Analysis. My name, as Messi has introduced, is Nachi Leckwards. I work in the UK as a digital business analyst with KPMG, and today we'll be taking this presentation with, joining us will be my friend and colleague, Bolu.
Good evening, everyone.
Yourself to the team because Messi forgot about you.
That's fine.
He didn't forget. He didn't reach out back to me. That's it.
Good evening, everyone. Bolu Adiagbo is the name. I work with General Motors here in Ireland, Dublin. Quite excited to give a hand to this career open day, business analysis. I hope that today's session will be as interactive as I've heard. Yes, yesterday's session was. Hoping to work together with Nachi to present the slides that we've come up with.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll try not to spend too much time on most of the slides because of time. I believe we have only 2 hours, and it will be this presentation as well as that of the UX. So we'll skim through most of them, but I'll just take us through the table of contents. What we intend covering is who is a business analyst, why are business analysts in high demand in digital age, skills and traits you'll need as a business analyst, how do business analysts add value to an organization, techniques adopted by business analysts, and the role of a business analyst in digital transformation. Then if time permits us, we'll just talk about career progression as well as certifications and further learning. So first, I'm a business analyst, or BA for short. What do you know as who a business analyst is or what they do? I'd like us to interact throughout the session because it makes it much better. What do you guys think a business analyst does? Please feel free to unmute yourself and let's make it interactive.
No, they can drop the chat in the comment in the chat box.
Okay.
We can manage the time, yes.
Okay, cool.
Room for them to ask questions.
So feel free to just say what you think a business analyst is before we start taking us through our slide.
There's a comment in the chat. The gather requirement by Rebecca.
Okay, good.
Ayodele says enables changes, okay. PC, okay, provides insight to business decision maker. Ozekwe Chisom, someone that analyzes business. I didn't get the last part. Those are the people.
He doesn't know, but that's what he thinks. Someone that analyzes business now.
Yes, right now.
Yes.
Redim says a business analyst is a person who studies business trends and analysis and data to improve growth, gathers data for business insight, and also collects all the money. I like that. Enables changes, recommend solution, facilitate collaboration, and understand business needs. Then Olumide says the business analyst is one that analyzes business opportunities for optimally.
Okay, good. So as you guys can see that a business analyst really wears different hats depending on what task in front of them. According to IIBA, a business analyst liaises with stakeholders in order to understand the structure, policies, and operations of an organization, and to recommend solutions that enable the organizations to achieve its goals. So you can see from the different definitions we all just gave, it covers most of this. Business analysts are responsible for bridging the gap between IT and business using data analytics to assess processes, determine requirements, and deliver data-driven recommendations, or reports to executives and stakeholders. They further engage with business leaders to understand how all this can work together, improve efficiency, and add value. So like some of us have pointed out, business analysts help out in gathering requirements, which is one of the main functions, understanding the business landscape and looking for how to add value to an organization, be it at product level or at strategy level. So why are business analysts in high demand in the digital age? Looking at COVID-19, we can clearly see that we're all stuck in a digital age, and business analysis is becoming more digitally focused. We need help in navigating this new landscape. Some business analysts are becoming more of advisory services, helping organizations navigate complex environments, unplanned situations like what we currently are living in today, COVID-19 and the new world. And business analysts are more informed about customer experience. You know, putting the customer in the forefront of everything we do helps us understand how best to advise our organizations on what initiatives to work on or what aspects to focus on. As Messi has always pointed out, agile, agile, agile. Business analysis is more agile than anything because you need to be able to provide solutions, think on your feet, and adapt to change as it occurs. Some of the skills and traits needed as a business analyst, we've just pointed some of them. I am agile working, being customer centric, having a customer at the forefront of everything you do, business improvement processes, business modeling, stakeholder management, digital perspective, and an enterprise/business architecture. I'll take us through some of this. So business improvement process. An example is an organization that is trying to move from having its sales team distributed around Nigeria, but they all have to report every day to be it a manager or someone. But by improving a business like that, you're pretty much offering new solutions on how can each staff work, in this case, remotely, without having to actually come into the office, but the business will still function the same way it used to, but this time around better. And some of you have pointed out stakeholder management, gathering requirements from stakeholders. For this our presentation, I wouldn't want to talk too much on each aspect because all these they're pretty much courses on their own. If you go online, you find that these are pretty much courses on their own. And you can tell that as a business analyst, you would wear different hats depending on the situation you find yourself in. So I want to ask us this question here. Who is more important to the product in an organization? Or like I say to a business analyst, who is more important? Is it the people bringing the money, those are the sponsors, or the people we're creating our service or product for?
You have two responses. Emmanuel says the user, Carrie B, user, and Stephen says user.
It seems like everyone is saying user.
Exactly.
Anyone the sponsor, the people bringing the money?
Everybody is a user.
Okay, that's a good one.
I had somebody else said the people, okay, the people we are creating product for and the user. LMM shows.
Okay, that's a lot. Everyone, okay, would I say everyone goes with the idea that it's the user, but that's like asking which came first, the hen or the egg. Okay, good one. So yes, the users are as important to the product or service as well as those sponsoring the service. In a case whereby we're trying to create, let's say Jumia. We all know Jumia. Jumia came about because they were trying to provide simple access to products from any device you have. So they build their business for the users. However, the people building the business need return on investments as well. So it's 50-50. The sponsor needs return on investment. The users need a good product or services in order for them to give out their money, their time, or their resources. Chidima says, okay, no. Queensley Okoji says both. Could you tell me why you think it's both from your own point of view?
Who did you call so I can unmute the person?
Queensley Okoji. She's the only person that said both.
Okay.
Queensley and Chidima.
Queensley, you're muted, please. Queensley, you're muted.
I said both because both parties have to be happy with the services. The sponsor has to be happy with the service, and the users has to also be happy. One side cannot be happy and the other side unhappy. I think there would be issues. So both parties have to be happy. I don't know. I think so.
Okay, that's good. Who did you unmute again, Messi? Ayodeji? Ayodele?
You want me to unmute Ayodeji, right?
Yes, sorry, Ayodele.
Ayodele, okay. You're muted, Ayodele. Ayodele, you're muted. Okay.
I think they're both important because the user would definitely use the product and be able to suit the need of the user. And for the sponsor is the person financing or funding the project. So to some extent, at a large extent, they are both on the opposite side. So they have to be satisfied and both of them are equally important.
Is that okay? Not yet.
Yeah, that's good, but her audio was really bad. I think it's just women that have been replying us. Any other guy that could help us out? Just, gender equality. One guy at least, just one guy to tell us why they think it's both. Isaac.
Anderson. Okay. Isaac or Anderson?
Yeah, any of them.
Anderson, you're muted. I'll mute Isaac. Yeah, go on. Isaac, you're muted.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I think the both are important, but the customer is far more important because without customers, there will be no sponsor. Yes, sir, that's all.
Without customers, there will be no sponsor. Well, without customers, there will be no return on investment.
Exactly, sir.
Someone raised his hand. Let's get that person on call as well.
Okay. You're muted.
Hello?
Yes?
Okay, it's me. Okay, good evening. I think it's both because first, if you have an idea, you sell it to the sponsor. It is the sponsor that gets the attention first, catch the idea first, before he or she would want to put down his or her money for the idea before the user. So if you sell first to the sponsor will be able to believe in you and want to do business with you. Sponsor first, then the user can follow. Thank you.
It seems like we have a lot of people raising their hands. Mercy, let's make this more interactive. Let them get talking.
I hope you know that we have the UX UI. Steven?
Yes. We have up to what time? 8, right?
Yeah, Steven, you're muted.
Hi, good evening.
You're muted. Usaya, you're
in my humble opinion, I think both actually are quite important to the product. And this is because the sponsors will definitely be getting returns, from investing into the product, and the users at the other end would actually be happy, would be satisfied if their needs are being met, either by using the product or services. Thank you.
So Victoria says the question says who is more important.
Okay, can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for me, which is more important? That's the first question. So one that is more important, I would say the customer. Like you're talking about to the product directly, not to the return or probably on investment. To the product, you are the sponsor themselves may not even be interested in the product. They may not be even part of the target market. But theirs is to make enough return on their investment. Whereas for the product, you want to be sure that what you are proposing, the people you are proposing it for, like, would they like this? Is it is this something they would desire? I mean, they would desire. Is it something they would like to go for? So you have to consider them first, not what your sponsors would like to sponsor, but what is likely. I mean, what your consumers or users would like to, I mean, give money for. That's what you want to consider. So they are more important than even the sponsors when you're talking in terms of the product.
Okay. Well, I would say that they are both as important as they could be, because without the sponsor, we wouldn't have a product.
Proceeding, yeah. I'll mute everybody. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. Nache, you're a co-host. Unmute yourself. I have to mute everyone. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I just lost my screen, Messi, because of unmute. Sorry, guys. Let me try and get myself back.
You're muted anyway.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so enough of all these questions, but at this point, we can see that the product lies for both users. So the end users as well as those sponsoring the product to be built. Where does the business analyst come in, and how does this business analyst add value at this point? Anyone?
Can you guys drop your responses in the chat? I can read it. It's easier that way.
Okay.
Initiation stage by Rebecca.
Okay.
Planning phase by Stephen. Strategy stage by Cedar Grove. Ayodele says, what's the question, please? The BA does an analysis of the value of the product.
I'll repeat the question again. In building this product, where do we see the business analyst adding value? Chidima says all stage. Okay, Wes, the business analyst, depending on what level or what type of business analyst they are, they add value at all stage, according to Prince, Paul, Chidima, Isaac. I see we're all thinking on that line. So you have a business analyst that could either be the business level. So at business level, you have a business analyst that works with the business at operational level, helping out complete, develop the entire process of the product, how we're going to go to market, as well as build our product. Understanding the market, understanding the users, and understanding how best we should go about building this product. So on the slide, we have there are 3 types of level of business analyst. I'll take us through them. So the business level, they help analyzing business process either through various tools. We'll get to talk about the tools. Then at software level, they help support the business workflow, often completed through functional requirements. Like some of you had said earlier on, they help in gathering requirements. They also help in converting those requirements into use cases and wireframes. When the UX guy comes up, he'll talk more about that. Then we also have the business analyst at information level. How data and information are stored and maintained by an organization. The business analyst uses different types of techniques based on the role they play in an organization. In my own case, the role I work at a software level, and I create some process flow, and majority of my work is improving the product that they do. These are some of the key techniques you would need to apply at different level as a business analyst. So we have the analysis techniques and the communication techniques. So at business level, you either use business flow diagram, business process model. At software level, I'm just talking about the analysis techniques. At software level, you have use cases, wireframes, high-level prototypes and all. Then at information level, you have the ERD, entity relationship diagram, system context diagram. All these big words we're using, you could go ahead to further read about them to understand how they're being developed, because this class is not to actually talk about how each and all this work. It's just to give you an overview of what a business analyst is. Then communication techniques. For business level, you have the discovery session, trying to understand what they're thinking. Then at software level is gathering the requirements and validating those requirements from the business and communicating those requirements to the technical team in user stories. Information level could be creating a glossary of what is being built for clarity and to be able to communicate it across the entire organization. Do we have any questions on this? So I run through the rest. Okay, cool. I would like Bolu to take us through this section and explain how the business analysts add value to an organization properly.
Sure, Nachi. Yeah, thanks, Nachi. That was a good intro you had there. So like there was a question thrown out earlier, right? Asking at what stage does the BA add value to a product? And I saw a couple of answers there where people said it's at all stages. And of course it is at all stages, because your BA will function at all stage of either that product life cycle or the project's life cycle, depending. And this BA here kind of illustrates what a business analyst will do at each stage. So let's say at the conception of that product, right? Of course, you just have an idea and you have to first of all do things like validation. Does that idea make sense? Is there even a market for that idea? You have to do things like your feasibility studies. You have to understand the type of market you're going into. You want to find out if there are competitors in that market, or if the idea is so unique and genuine that you are the first to ever come up with it. And if you are the first to come up with it, so you also want to find out, why hasn't anyone come up with that idea before? Is it so brilliant or so stupid that people don't want to throw their money at it? As a BA at that stage, that would be the job that you'll be saddled with, right? You don't want your sponsors to lose money, because if they lose money, somebody's head will roll, right? Now, moving on from that is the next phase, right? Which is called the elicitation or collaborative stage. At this stage, what are you doing? You are trying to find out from your users, what would they like to see on this product? Have they used the product like this before? You have what you think will be the features, but now you're going out to this market, right? So you're using things like your surveys here, using things like your focused group, using things like your interview. Those are the techniques that you're using here. Using things like prototyping. So you first of all create what you think this value will be, push that out first, see what the users feel about that, get it back and get the additional response from there and move. I'm sure you've heard from the training yesterday and from Mercy as well. You've heard everyone talking about agile, responding to change. As a BA, you live and breathe that every day. Change is your friend. So you have to be quick on your feet. You have to move according to what the user wants. Also, according to what the sponsors want as well. Now, your requirement communications, once you have elicited them, now you have to speak to your developers who trained you guys yesterday. You have to talk to them in the way they understand, because the way you have in speaking to your users is very, very different from the way you will speak to your developers. Here, you are creating things like your use case diagrams, you're creating your user stories. The UX guy is going to talk about wireframing and this in prototyping. You will be creating things like that to help translate your business requirements into technical requirements, right? You want to communicate that right. And if there is an issue as well, you want to find out where that issue came from, what did you miss, and you have to rewrite those user stories most of the time so that your technical team can understand what the features are and what they are supposed to code. Because in an organization, your technical team does the technical part of it. That's all they do. They don't help understand. They don't help interpret. It's your job as a BA to be able to dance between both users and technical and speak their language when you're speaking to them. The next is the requirements modeling. Similar to what I've been said before, it's basically you just trying to prioritize here, mapping out things, what should come first, what should come second, what should come third. What do you have to do now for you to be able to meet your MVP? What are the things that you want to see first to be implemented? Those are things that you cover under your requirement modeling. After that is your require management. After the project or the products have been delivered, this is when you now talk about things like support. You want to support either the implementation, rollout, or even post-implementation plan. You want to have that. How do you support them? Are you supporting them for 3 months? If it's a third party, are you supporting them for 6 months? If it's an in-house, what structure have you put in place in case users have issues? Do you have training materials? Is it easy for them to use? And even from this, you can as well come up with more user stories. And again, you start the process again, if you still have money and time. As a BA, those are definitely things that you will do. And in doing all of this, you end up doing 2 things. One, you want to add value to the company, right? Value to the company, depending on which level that you're working on. To the sponsor, that means he wants to see more profits on whatever capital that he's pushing in. To the users, you want them to enjoy the products that they're using. You want them to have the best user experience. You want them to be able to, you want to help your teams like your marketing teams to be able to convert leads. You as a BA, like you have seen throughout this, you have to be versatile. You have to get so many hats so that every decision that you're making, every job that you're doing, you have to keep that there are several teams who links up to you, and you have to make sure that at the end of the day, whatever requirements that you are pushing forward to be implemented will make everyone happy at the same time. Okay, next slide. Now, for some of the techniques that you will need, and trust me, this does not even scratch it. But for some of the techniques that you will need, and you have heard me talk about them, right, at the previous slide, and so many people have also mentioned already, things like requirement elicitation. By the way, if you have any questions, please just pop them onto the chat. Mercy is helping us monitor, and I have mine opened as well. If you have any questions, if you need me to explain something clearer, just pop it up and we'll go back to it. Now, for some of the techniques you will need as a BA, right, it's requirement elicitation. Now, this can come in different forms. It can be interviews, it can be focus groups, it can be prototyping, several ways. It can be data. You heard from the guy yesterday, I'm pretty sure you heard buzzwords like data is the new oil. You've seen that, you've heard it. As a 21st century BA, data has to be your friend, because unlike in the past where you can't move forward until you have a focused group of 5, put them in a white box and throw questions to them. In nowadays age, you can sit behind your laptop, pop open your Power BI, play around with your data, and like the saying always goes, if you flog your data well, you will get answers. So as a BA, you have to know how to speak to your data in a way that it can answer you. From there, you can gather things like your requirements. I see a question there. It says, what's the difference between business analyst and business intelligence? Now, that's a good question. As a business analyst,
between a data analyst and a business analyst.
Yes.
So please.
Okay, perfect. And if I let me throw one more there, there's also something called business analytics. So you have to be careful in reading, especially what you read online. You have to be careful to understand which they are talking of. To answer that question, a business analyst, like Nachi has said, right, is the guy or is the person that dances between the users and the product. Is the person that translates business requirements, right, into technical requirements. Is the person that ensures that whatever the users are saying is what the product is doing or will do. That is a business analyst. Your business intelligence person is someone that sits behind a very powerful system and helps you understand the data that you have given him or her. That's who your business intelligence person will be. So your business intelligence person will be someone that works with tools that you must have heard of yesterday, things like Power BI, things like Tableau, tools like Data Studio will be your business intelligence person. They are the ones that create the fanciful dashboards that you see and use every day. They are the ones that, they are more like the front end developers for data analytics people. So they are the ones that make the fancy graphs, they flog the data. They also help in some back-end things like the way the data is stored, and they also query them. That's your BI person. Your business intelligence and business analytics, they are both the same, depending on the company that you work for. Just to add to that, your data analyst will be someone that deals with huge amounts of data. So when you talk about data analyst, you'll be talking about things like your data warehouse, data marts. Those are words that you will see this in Conversant. You'll be hearing things like Python, R. Those are people that sit in the sit with the huge amount of data, right? The big data. Those are people that sit with that. They flog it with several tools and techniques so that they are able to glean and gain insights from those data. They are different and they are very different. But as a BA, it won't be uncommon for you to have skills that touch all of these areas that I have just mentioned. Like you will see in several parts of these graphs, you will see that a BA, and you have heard before, wears so many hats. And it's always best to learn everything as you can, because you will never know what your company will need from you and what a product will need from you at certain points. So a BA does everything. Because of our time, I'm going to just rush through. Hope that answered your question. Sorry. Why should the company engage business analyst? Does the BA work with I'm not sure what that means, but I'll answer the first one. Why should the company engage business analysts? Okay, a company will engage. Let's first of all answer the question from the other way. What happens if a company does not engage business analysts? Have you guys ever seen a product that was developed for nobody? Have you ever seen a wonderful launch of a decent product and there was buzz around it and the product was just flat, dead on arrival? It was for nobody and no one wanted to use it. No one got interested in using it. And they had spent so much money on it.
Example,
From product.
Google Glass.
Trust me, those big companies spend a lot of money, right, on products that might end up just in the bin. But for products like that, it will be clear either there was no BA or there was a BA that did the job very badly. Or it could just be a case where the purpose of that product was just to be experimental. There are cases like that. I hope that answers that question. But anyway, some of the techniques you will use as a BA will be your gap analysis. If you're like this Nachi says, most of his job is done with improving processes, right? So as a BA, you have to look at what is at the moment and what is to be. Usually we call that the as is and to be mapping. What does the product have at the moment? Where do they want to go? And you map them together. There are tools and techniques for that. Also, you have heard us talk about process flows. So this comes with your things like flow charts, your swim lane diagrams, your BPMN. I had some things to show for this, but I won't show it since time is against us. Also, as a BA, your SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weakness, the opportunities and threats, you need to know things like this at the tip of your fingers for every decision and feature that you're making. Things like your pestle, right? So what are the external factors that will impact or that your products will have that will affect the different products that you're making up? The political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and also the legal. For a product coming in, if you're at the inception phase, you have to use tools like your Ansoff matrix. Are you a new product in a new market? Are you a new product in an existing market? Are you an existing product in an existing market, or are you an existing product in a new market? Those are the things that you have to find out. Which of these spaces do you play? What do you have to do if your product falls into this space? Where do you want to be 5 years from now, 4 months from now? What are your goals? Of course, when you have your user stories all lined up, or your requirements, you have to prioritize. That's one of the value, again, that the BA brings, right, to the organization. How do you prioritize? There are different analysis you can use there. Your Kano is one of them. Moscow is on the screen. What are your must-haves? What are your should-have? What could you have? And what won't you have? What is in scope? What is out of scope? Those are analysis that you will use as a BA. Now, for things like your stakeholder management that somebody mentioned on the chat earlier, how do you communicate? You have to use things like your racing metrics. Who are those responsible? Who are those accountable? Who do you have to consult? Who do you have to just inform? Of course, you have to know that where you have several people that are accountable, those type of deliverables will take longer to be implemented. Do you need to, does everybody need to be accountable, or can some people just be consulted as against being accountable to something? You have to make sure that you have all those mapped out in your stakeholder management. Also, of course, like you have heard me mentioned before, you have to know how to write your user stories. You have to speak the type of language that your technical team understands. You can't speak to them the same way that you have been speaking to your users. You have to tell them in crystal clear terms what you want from each feature. You have to learn to write user stories. You have to learn to also do your user mapping as well, user journey. Those are things you will have to do as a BA. And of course, for the next training, you get to talk about wireframing and prototyping. As a BA, you will have to learn to wireframe. You will learn to also prototype if you are very lucky and you work in a multinational and a big company and they have different teams for this. Perfect. But I promise you 99% of the time, you as a BA will have to, in some way, shape or form, participate in wireframing or prototyping before it gets over to those teams. Wireframing helps you to quickly communicate and to quickly understand what a user is trying to help you to do. It can be something, it can be simple as a 2D, as a low fidelity prototype, but you have to be able to do it at the tip of your fingers and then show what the requirements are. What is wireframing? That's an interesting question, but I think I'll leave it for the UX guy to answer. So basically, right, just chip in there, wireframing is you trying to illustrate or trying to capture what a user is telling you in terms of features. Nache, do you want to quickly search on your box there for wireframe so we can show?
No, I said, why not let's leave that for let's leave that for the UI guy to spend time.
The UI guy, right? Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Redmi, good question. The UI guy will definitely answer that. All right, next slide, Nache. Okay, it's fine. Go on.
Do I pull up the racing matrix?
How much time do we have?
Messi, how long do we have? We should have at least 15 minutes now. You took most of our time.
Minutes to go.
How many?
3 minutes.
3 minutes? It's fine, Nacho. Let's skip to
I'll give them another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's use the 10 minutes to cover this digital transformation. Right,
no,
Nacho.
go ahead with the racing matrix.
Okay, good stuff then. Right. So racing matrix, guys, this is a quiz, right? So keep your ears open, right? So you heard me talking about racing matrix there, right? When we're talking about stakeholder management, okay? Now, what does the R mean? Responsible. Who are those responsible for a particular task? Usually, this is where you will find the most amount of people. These are the people that actually do the work, right? So say if you want to build a house, people that will be responsible for the house building, say if you are at the foundation stage, you'll be the actual person digging the soil to put in your concrete and all that. These are the people that are actually doing the job. They are the hands on ground doing the job. Those are who your R are, right? So your A, people that are accountable. These are people that sign off on things. So these are people that you call like your managers, your top level managers. In fact, your sponsor might also fall into an A, right? These are people that if they say no, nothing can happen. They have the last word, they have the final say. In you mostly hear for A, you hear that the box stops here. So if they say no, that's the end of it. And if they say yes, then you have a way to go. Usually you don't want to have so many A's on a task because, like I said before, it will cause delay. It can cause conflicts of interest. So you want to reduce the number of A as possible. In most cases, it's the best to have one A as opposed to having several. Now your C are people that are consulted. So these are not people that necessarily have to, these are not people that necessarily are accountable, but they are consulted because they might have inputs that will help your task to either move further. So these are people that say you want to, so typical example, right? If you are building a house and you have, say, you have other parts. You have the laborers, you have the mason, you have the carpenters, and so on and this and so forth. You want to sometimes, depending on the task that you're doing, you want to sometimes get the inputs of the mason in and ask him, what do you think about this? Should I do it this way or should I do it that way? Reason you are doing that is because whatever you are doing might have an impact on them, or they might have an impact on what you're doing, either good or bad. So you always want to consult them, right? Also here again, on every task and feature, you want to also reduce the number of C's you have. Reason for this and that is because you don't always want to consult too many people before you take a decision. You want to consult just enough number of people and move on from there. Now the I, right, are people that are just informed. So basically, you're just telling them what is going to happen. And this can change. There are some times that your sponsors will be an I because you might just want to give them an update that we are moving on from deployment 1 to 2. they are not necessarily consulted or accountable for that particular task. They are just giving them an update. Also, your I as well in some cases can just be the users as well. So you're telling them that this is what we are doing in the listening background. And then we are moving on to the next phase. Now, the quiz is in this little box that we have. Let's just use the first task so that we don't waste time. Mercy is giving us a very tight timeline here. So let's just use the very first task, right? So between the project manager, the strategist, designer, and the developer, for the task design websites, who is R, who is A, who is C, and who is I? Chat box, guys. Quickly. So who should be responsible for the design sitemap? Who is accountable? Who should be consulted? And who is informed? For the first task there, design sitemap. So you can just say RACI, ICAR, and I will know that you're talking about project manager, strategist, designer, developer. Just tell me how it is. It's okay. Anderson says ICAR, okay. Okay, ICAR, Anderson says that, it's good, okay. So he's saying your project manager is informed, your strategist is consulted. Yes, correct, Nachi? Your designer is accountable and your developer is responsible, okay? For the design sitemap, that's all. Any other takers? Guys, our time is almost up. Okay. Give it a second. All right, that's fine. So for your first task, right, and Anderson is close. The only difference that I would change there will be the A and the R. So the actual person responsible for the design of the sitemap will be, yes, exactly. And in some cases, right, you can have somebody doing dual roles, right? So it's possible that your strategist might also be an R. So he can be a C/an R as well. That is not uncommon for you to see, okay, within a racing matrix. I thought we'll have time to do this, but that's fine. You kind of get the point here that for each task, you want to have an I, C, A, and an R. Okay, thanks, Nachi. Any questions, guys? If you have any questions, please pop it up in the chat. Nachi, do you want to quickly run through?
Okay.
The next slide. Right, so digital transformation. I'm sure you've heard this word and you will hear it for the next 3 days, right, to be on day 2 of the training. You heard the word digital thrown at you at every point. And we have some slides here, but because of our time, I won't even go through it. I just want us to talk, right, based off of our current climate, right? Coronavirus has impacted everything we know, everyone in some way, shape, or form. And even from this training, perhaps maybe last year when Mercy was planning something like this, she may have been thinking of having it in one of the classrooms or something. But because of coronavirus, everyone has learned to adapt. So everyone is now embracing digital. Classic example is the platform that we are using for this conference call, right? Zoom. Several months back, okay, perhaps myself and this and Mercy and the few team used to use Zoom before because we were in that space, but several people did not know who Zoom were. But all of a sudden, within a month, Zoom's share price rose more than 300% because of coronavirus. Well, is it really because of coronavirus? The answer is no. The answer is because they were digitally transformed internally. And coronavirus was just a springboard that they needed to be upright there at the top. What is digital transformation? Basically, making your company digital. Whose job is this? To be honest with you, it is the job of the business analyst. Because as a business analyst, there should be no time that your hands are idle. You are always thinking forward. You are always thinking of the next best thing. You are always versatile. You are always thinking one step ahead of the curve. As your job as a BA, that is your job. You should be passionate. A BA does not wait for tasks to be handed over to them. A BA is always doing something. A BA is a doer. You must be doing something at every point. You have a plan, it's in the pipeline, and you're working on it. That is a BA. Digital transformation. I will use two companies to explain it, right? So we all know Primark, right? Pennies, Primark, very big brand back in the UK and most of the Western countries, right? They deal mostly with cloth, right? Sales. Primark, as big as they are, whether you want to listen, believe it or not, they don't have any digital presence. So you cannot shop anything from Primark stores. You cannot order anything. They don't deliver anything to you. They believe in solely brick and mortar business. You go to their store, you get something from there at a very good price, and everyone is happy. For donkey years, that has been working for them. But like you will guess, like myself, coronavirus hits. Oh, can you hear me? Someone says my audio is gone.
I can hear you. Well.
All right, thanks, Nacho. Coronavirus hits and they had to close down their stores. Within a month, Primark lost over 650 million pounds in revenue. 650 million pounds in revenue. The answer to that question is not because of coronavirus. The answer to them is because their company was not digitally transformed. That's it. In that same space, Amazon doubled its employee staff just so that they can respond to customer orders. That's a classic example of one company that has embraced digital transformation and another company that was stuck in its tracks. Same coronavirus happening to everyone. One company is benefiting from it because they have leveraged digital. They have been transformed. They are embracing all the tools and techniques and they are being relevant to their customers, while the other was stuck in its tracks and believed, well, if you want us, you have to come to us. Coronavirus came and it showed the person that was ready and the person that isn't. And I'm sure several of us, right? We have seen companies that had to be shut down, that had to go down because they were unable to meet up with their responsibilities during the coronavirus era. And in some cases, there are some jobs that can't just be done that way. But as a business analyst, as a BA, your job is to ensure that things like this don't happen, right? Your job is to always forward think. Your job is to move the company forward, no matter how much and how much pain it gets, right? Your job is to make sure, one, you improve customer experience. Two, you transform operational processes, right? Of course, in all of this, using digital, and the third is that you change your business model. If you were brick and mortar before, you have to go digital. You have to be online. If you were online, this and before, just on one platform, you have to leverage all the platform that is available, right? Nachi, do you want to add to that? I think our time is almost up.
Not really. Our time is almost up, and we don't want to start talking on something that everybody wants us to hold on. I hope, even though we rushed through this presentation, it's more like a starting point for all of us on this call. Those that will find being a business analyst as a lucrative and interesting career path. I'm sure Messi will communicate further to you all on how to take advantage of the LEARNTOR platform and get your hands dirty and busy on how to improve your skill set, as well as, well, get the necessary skills for your life, business, or for job. Messi, do you have anything to add for us or conclude? Because we can't really go on with the slides. We have about 10 more slides to go through.
No, it's okay. It's a long journey, so it's fine. Thank you very much, Bolu and Nache. Can you stop sharing the screen, please? I just want to say thank you very, very kindly. And there's a lot to learn. You can't learn everything in one day. Okay. And this is much I'm going to say to everybody. This is a big journey for all of us. I started my journey as a BA, but I was so excited about being a tester. And long story short, I said, okay, it was one of my mentor at the time, Famuriwa Josiah, that said to me, Mercy, do you know what it means to be a tester? You know, like when I went to Google it, I like, no, I totally understood the platform, the tools, what to do. I'm always hungry about learning. I just want to say to you guys, this is a journey. And this is one of the things that, if you remember when I told you yesterday about the fact that Nigerian businesses are struggling, why? Because they lack system, they lack processes, they lack things that can help them to survive. When he said about Primark, is what is going to happen to a lot of Nigerian businesses, because many Nigerian businesses chose not to transform digitally, you know. So, but today is just to give you an intro into who a BA is, into what you are capable of achieving as a business analyst, and the value you can take to any organization. Before I bring Doyin on board, let me share my good news, which I'm excited about. I had a meeting with scrum.org, the head of programs for scrum.org. And it was yesterday I had the meeting. I had to hold myself together. And part of the thing, they're going to be coming here on Friday. I'll be releasing, the flyer is already released. I should post the video. I did a video that I'm going to post. There's a surprise package that is going to happen. Carrie B, you were asking about certification. So there's going to be some type of discount that will be only available to LEARNTOR participants that want to take Scrum certification. And this is going to be part of the plugin if you pay for, and there's going to be a timeline, by the way. So start preparing. Like I said, on Friday, I will announce the cost implication for the 3 months training. What they have shown you is just a tip of the iceberg. You're going to have hands-on into a BAs, into what you're supposed to do as a business analyst. So by the time you go into an organization, because the purpose of agility is to shift our mindset, how to work together collaboratively. So we're going to have Daphne Harris and Martin Inchwell, and it will be here to do a Q&A, take us through an intro about Agile Scrum. And the most exciting one is at least the first 50 that first make their payment will get the discount code for them. So the way we have done the pricing, I'll explain it. I'll try and talk about it on Thursday before they come. So, and I'm opening it up for you to, if you bring, the way I've worked it out, there's a 10% discount for anyone that brings in one person. So if you end up bringing 15 people, you end up not paying nothing. So it's in your hands what you want to do. You may not have the money, but I know there are people that are out of job right now and they need a change to their situation. So this is an opportunity for you to scale. So this is something that would have taken me years to achieve, but it fell on my lap. God's grace, and I'm grateful to God for that. So they will be here live. The link is going to be different. So everyone that wants to be part of this is going to be, the link is going to be in my bio in any of the posts, because I'll run an ad for it. So whoever wants to be part of this class has to go and register, share with your friends, post on your handle, be part of the awareness. Because as much as I'm giving, I'm giving to you, I believe I should get back, and I want you to get back and succeed as well. The ultimate goal is for you to become a rounded employee, a comb-shaped employee, not just one. I'm a developer. No, I'm a UX UI. You need to know how all of this tie together. You heard data in business analysis. You will hear data when it comes to UX UI, because it's all interconnected and it's all interwoven. So that's the good news. I hope you guys are excited. Let me know in the chat if This is good for you as well as good for me. Yeah, are you excited? No. I don't know why Nigerians think it's okay to be asking for people's PowerPoint presentation. It's unprofessional, honestly. It is unprofessional. It's called intellectual property. So, thank you. That's the vibe I'm looking for. Super excited. So be ready. Once the announcement, the class is going to definitely start August, the first week in August. So you are the people to go and bring your people. Bring 2 people, get 20% discount. Bring 3, 30%. You bring 10, you end up paying 0. So that's the system that we're going to. And when you bring people, make sure that we know that these people are from you, and we'll find a way to verify. The beauty of what you are learning here, we're not training at you. If you saw Nache, what he wanted to do was get it interactive so you can have hands-on learning. That's your 3 months journey. So thank you very kindly and have a wonderful day. Okay, over to you, Doyin. I'm still here though. So we'll take all the questions for the BA and the UX UI after Doyin is done. Thank you for the excitement. Even me, I've been excited, grinning like this, back to back. Okay, Doyin, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Don't worry, we'll take all the questions together. Nache is on call, and Bolu is on call. I just need Doyin to cover his curriculum. Yeah, over to you, Doyin. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Ade Doyin. I'm a UI UX designer. I transitioned from graphics to motion graphics, then UI UX over the course of the last 10 years. I'll be taking the UI session. First of all, I would like to illustrate that UI UX is much closer to you than you think, stemming from things as simple as the arrangement of your couch in your sitting room, the colors you chose, the placement of your furniture, directing towards the television set. That's to make life easier for you. That's your own experience. How you set up your office desk, the placement of your materials, your documents, everything like that. That's your own UI UX, and you don't even know you're doing that work on your own. Today I'll be touching what a UI person does, what a UX person does, what product design is about, getting a brief persona, wireframe. They mentioned this earlier, and I would touch on that also. Selecting colors, icon, that is a major part of what we do. Prototyping on high fidelity and user testing. I'm going to it now. Quick question. Has anyone here ever logged off a website because you did not just like how it looked? I would like to know in the comment section.
Y for yes and N for no. Let's make this as interactive as possible. Thank you, Queensley. They said yes. Adeoti, yes, 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 yes. They've answered you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, have you left the website also because you were trying to do something and you could not get it done and it was too complicated and just closed it and went back to Google search?
Oh, we had a no. I don't know why I said that. Growth said no. So you've never logged out of a website because you didn't find something. We are going to investigate it, Seda. You were explicated. Everybody said yes, except for Seda.
Okay, last one. If you ever installed an application on your phone and uninstalled it because it was either complicated or you just did not like how it was appearing. Awesome. Okay, so that is a lot of loss for the company and a lot of work done being zero. So the work of the UI UX designer is to tie up what everybody has done. It doesn't matter how good the product is. We humans judge things based on appearance. Someone once said, once you walk into a store, apart from the branding that you have already perceived, the advertisements that you've seen about it, when you want to pick a product, you subconsciously pick based on appearance, what looks good to you. Also, we judge based on the experience. The world is getting very fast-paced right now. And if you as a user experience or user interface developer can design something that makes life easier, make people order things in 2 steps instead of 5 steps, they will choose your product over the next product. So the main summary of what the UI UX person does is you make life easier for the end user of the product. Okay, so The UI person is more interested in the design, the look, the aesthetics, how the product feels in the hand of the user. The user experience person, on the other hand, is more concerned with the usability. How easy is it for the end user to navigate what you're doing or what you're providing them? What are the hiccups that they're having that you can solve? What are they trying to register for that they're doing in 10 steps that you can seamlessly cut down to 2 steps? So, and then the product designer in an establishment, he has an overview. It's closer to the business analytics of the business. He oversees the project. He gives guidelines. He has the idea and he synergizes with both the management, the engineering team, the design team. You can see him here trying to do that everything. Okay. So the first step is always to get a design brief from the client. You need to define what exactly it is they want. I created a pseudo project for a hair brand. What they do is in the description, or what they want to do is in the description. They want to do a website, and they want the customers to be able to view and purchase their product online. That is simple enough. Also, you need to know your target audience. There's no product that works for everybody. Even pure water is not bought by every single person. You need to know who is going to buy that product. And if, like they mentioned earlier, there's some products that don't have any audience and it's just going to die off like that. This one is targeted to females within the age range of 18 to 45. Also, they need to list out the pages that they'll be developing. Benchmarks is a very important part. Competitors, you need to know what other people are doing, people that are doing similar products to you. What are they offering that you can do better? What are they doing well that you can also copy? That is very important also. Deliverables, wireframe, high fidelity prototypes, user testing, everything that you need to do has to be accounted for. Costing, timeline, that is how a UI person works. Next step for us is research. Someone said our job is 80% research and 20% implementation. Because for design in UI UX, there has to be a why to every choice you make. You're not just putting things out there for nobody to use. There has to be a reason why you're putting the call to action button there. So you need to actually know what the user wants before you even start doing anything. How we do that is we create surveys. You can use something as simple as Google Survey. Also, we talked about data. All that data that you've mined, when it is refined, you analyze them, see what people want, see what the other people have. Sorry, what part of the slide do you? Paula Johnson. Okay. Can you see the slides well, or is it not loading?
No, we can see it well.
Okay, I would move on. You need to know what the user exactly wants, the things that they've tested, that they actually gave you feedback on before you start doing anything. Then we do case studies also, have benchmarks based on what people have also done, visit other websites, other products that have been developed, see what they've done. Then you ask questions to the targeted audience, the people that, for the example, that's hair product right now. You talk to people that are within that age range and actually can use that product, see what they want out of the product, so you don't design a miss or you don't do what they actually don't need. Next stage is to develop a persona. It's like a overview or like a person that actually covers the spectrum of what you want to achieve, someone that actually needs the product you're offering and the services they are trying to offer. Over here, we have Chioma. She's a software developer. She's based in Lagos. She works with a company called Hydrotech. She loves her hair, but can't seem to find the right hair product to style it. Okay, and Chioma is tech savvy, obviously. So she keeps going on YouTube to find hairstyles and techniques to try, but she needs the right hair product for that. So basically, she fits into our profile. So anything I want to develop right now will have the end user in mind now. Wireframing has been talked about a lot. Picture when you're trying to build, an architect designs the blueprints for you or the plan. That is what the wireframe is. You need to know where each room is in your house, where you're going to place the toilet, where you're going to place the bathroom. So you don't, we've seen houses in Lagos, especially in Lagos, with poor planning because they did not fulfill this stage. And that is what happens to in wireframing. If you don't go through this process, you end up with designs that do not function well. So you consult with all parties involved, draft a wireframe, plan the site map. The user journey has to be defined. Essential elements also have to be defined. The hero section, call to action buttons, all things that will be involved in it have to be placed right. You don't place your toilet in front of the entrance door. It would not work. It is not aesthetically pleasing or functional in any setting. So the next thing that we do is we start to work on colors and elements, micro interaction. I would like to show you quickly what that looks like. Okay, so we start to piece puzzles together. Start to piece up the cards. This is Adobe X. It's one of the tools that we use for design. You start to create elements, how you want it to look, the color, the feel, every single element that you want to involve in the whole process based on the research and the wireframe that you have done before. You put them all together. Sorry. Call to action buttons where they will go into, you piece the puzzle together, and then you come up with high fidelity photos. This was mentioned earlier. This is the final results. And then prototypes also come in at this place. You can convert the with tools like Figma and Adobe XD. You can create wireframes that you present, and they would actually look like the actual website. Picture what happens when an architect gives you the 3D rendering of your house. That is exactly what you do with prototypes. You let them see how it would be. It is not the final website developed by the programmers yet, but it shows you the site journey, and you can actually walk through that also. Other elements that you can add in. These things that we call micro interactions that keep the users engaged when they're on your website. The theory is this: motion attracts more attention than still images. Picture when someone gives you a flyer and there's so much text, so much content, it's very likely you just throw it away before you leave that place. But in a case where someone shows you a 15 seconds video that actually engages everything that, or encompasses everything that the flyer has in it, you are more attached to it, your attention is drawn into it at that moment, and you can actually absorb the information better. Sorry. Okay. Next stage is user testing. After you put out your, after you're done with the design, you need to get feedback from your users. There's something they call beta testing in apps, where you release the beta version to see what people have to say about the application. Also, there are different methods to test. Also, you can do A/B testing also. You need to constantly get feedback. The slide that isn't showing, okay. It showed the journey for, okay. So I want to share the last. Okay, this is Instagram's old design for their application, and this is the new one. Over time, trends change in design, and you need to continue to update whatever it is you have. Also, customer feedback is important. If someone comes tomorrow now and does what Jumia Food is doing better, automatically people will start migrating off to that platform. So you need to constantly check what your customers are saying, your users, the experience that they're having, identify the pain points, things that they're having issues with that you might be neglecting, and then reduce the stress with that. I think that covers my own end of this talk. If there are any questions, please can drop them. I'll do my best to answer them.
Perfect timing. I appreciate you being so apt and Chris. So we can take all the questions. So everybody drop your hands. Let's now, everybody, let me lower your hands. So I'm going to give everybody opportunity to raise their hand, but don't do that yet once I lower everybody's hand. So if you have any questions, I'd like you to raise your hands now. Then you'll be recognized and you'll be taking your questions. Both Nache and Bolu will respond to them. Awesome, Rosemary. Who else going next? You're muted, please. You're muted. Rosemary, you're muted. Who has a question for Bolu, Nache? Ayodele, you're muted while Rosemary is trying to sort our audio out. Ayodele H, you're muted, please. Nokia 13, you're muted, but don't speak over each other, please. All those that have raised their hands, you are muted.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you now. Yes. We can hear you. Go on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the insightful lecture. Okay. Thanks for the insightful lecture. My question is actually for business analysis, because personally I've been preparing for the CBAB examination from IIB, but I would like to know what approach is best to get hands-on experience, because I'm from an health background. I'm an health worker, and I realized that the facilitator, when he was talking from an IT background. So to some extent, I that are specific to IT. So I want to know, is the training going to be for IT business analysis from that perspective, or is it going to cross business analysis regardless of the perspective of practice? Thank you.
Thank you, Ayodele. I get your question. We'll take everything together. So who wants to go next, please? Nokia 39, I want to say Nokia 3310. Nokia 31. Can you unmute yourself, please? Rosemary, you can unmute. Cedar Wood, I'm actually interested to know why you said no. You've never logged out. You're muted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Why I said I said no was because I look at different things when I'm doing my research online. I look at the content. I've seen several platforms where the design will not be encouraging, but I'm looking for a content. I'm looking for a particular thing. So I don't really put the design, the beauty of the platform first. I put the content I'm looking for first. That's maybe the thing I'm really looking for. So I see something that is not catchy, but inside that thing, I can get something useful for me. That's why I said no. I don't put off anybody. I just try and play around with it and use it so that I can get something from it. Now, my question, can I use this as my question also?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I know you mentioned getting a prototype for your clients first before going into the project proper. What do you do when a client says he or she does not have an idea how the site should look like? I'm a developer. I've developed so many site projects for clients, and I've been encountering these questions when the client will say, I don't have an idea how the site will look like, but just give me something. And some of them will say, I don't even have a content to give. So how would the prototype be? So I just assume whatever I present to the client should just take it and move on.
Okay, I think that, what's it called? Doing that question is yours. Anybody else with a question, please? So we can take all the questions together. Nokia, are you ready? You're unmuted. Can you unmute yourself?
All right, good evening, everyone. This is Nelson, my name.
Okay.
Okay, I really want to thank everyone for being here, and I really want to thank the host for making this possible. So I'll just go straight to my question. In respect to UI, UX, user interface, and user experience, I saw what you've been doing in respect to your slide and all that. Just one question I want to ask is, does graphic design skill a requirement to knowing UI and UX?
Okay, Bolu, you have the two questions. Somebody else? Okay, so let me start. Then I'll get Bolu and Nache to speak with regards to the BA. But I'll start first, then doing Bolu and Nache will speak with regards to the BA. Now, the hands-on experience you're going to get is not just about software. You're going to be learning about soft skill, learning what it means to be in an agile team, okay? So whether you're in the health sector, you're in the hospital, and Iyabo, one of the facilitators, we have a mutual friend that was a teacher, a career in the UK, and by the way, she was over 50. I like to bring this home. I don't like talking at people so that I can understand that it doesn't matter what it is that is before you. It's all about the attitude, the mindset, okay? She was a teacher, and long story short, she learned about IT, and within a space of 6 months, Yabo, you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to mention names. She was able to secure a role as a project manager. I remember telling her, Madam, you're 50 or over 50. Nigeria, they should be planning to retire you, but you are getting a white collar job from teaching, and she's in the UK. You know, the beauty of what we are learning today is what you can work with, whether you're in the health sector, in the education sector, or you are in the IT space. You see, I always use this analogy. When you know how to drive a Tokumba, 1980 something Tokumba, even if it's automatic, when they give you a 2020 Lamborghini, a key, you enter that car and drive it. So it's the same mindset. All you need to do is develop as you progress. You may have keys that you may not know, buttons that you may need to press. All you need to do is ask. You won't struggle to say, I want to start the car, move the car. You will move the car. What we are giving you here, exposure to digital tools that you're going to use to be able to work. You'll get opportunity to work on projects. So by the time you get into the health sector as a BA, you know that this is what I need to do. I know how to make requirements. I know how to design my wireframes. I know how to do my mock-ups. I know how to write user stories, because all the skills is what is needed. It doesn't matter the project. So Doi, Nache, I hope that answers your questions, Ayo, in the chat. So this is just the basic that you need to know. And this is the skill that will actually set you apart from everybody else. And yes, you can do the certification, but wait, do the training, the 3 months training, so you have exposure, because BS exam, though there are 40 questions, but they're technical, you need to have that knowledge of this sector. I hope that answers the question. Nache, over to you.
The first question that was pointed to be regarding the health sector, that's something I want to answer. What you're doing currently within the health sector, are you a nurse, doctor, or I just want to understand so I can point you exactly to the growth within the health technology. So I show you why digital transformation cuts across every organization, or sorry, every sector of business currently. So learning business analysis skills doesn't force you to implement only consumer-facing technology. But with the rise of technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, and all, you're going to be positioning yourself for a good future if you start learning business analysis on a broader scale now. Last question for the first person. Mercy, are you talking? Because I can't hear you. Okay, cool. Then the second question, which I did not take note of, can someone please help me with that? Bolu, did you take note of the second question?
Hi, Nachi. No, it's addressed to doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Bolu, do you want to say anything with regards to the business analysis?
That's fine. That's fine. Both of you have, yeah, answered it perfectly. Yeah. Good.
Okay. The first question that was asked was, what do you do when a client doesn't have a design preference on the project?
You are someone that makes sense.
Okay. So what our advice is, at that point, asking for benchmarks. What are their competitors doing? Like, what are the people in the same sector with them? So you can actually look at it and you can pick the client's brain on what they want out. Then you can also provide like design samples if that helps also. When they don't have copyright or content, it would be best to provide them with someone who does content or copywriting to handle that part, because it's also a lot of work and something that has to be specialized on. The second question was, does graphic design serve as a requirement? It's not completely yes, but it is very essential. Like, the knowledge of it is the most important part. There's no way you can wave that aside as a UI person, especially. Maybe as a UX, but even UX people have knowledge of UI. So all these areas are very tightly interwoven. There's such a thing as learning on the job. You can pick up UI and be learning the other design tools on the job, but you will not work without doing some graphic design. Even the basic principles of graphic design, you find them at play constantly in your journey as a UI designer. I hope that answers both questions. Merci.
Thank you so much, Doyin, for that.
I wanted to add to what Doyin was saying. So regarding the graphic design and UI UX, like myself, my role currently is a business analyst. However, I end up doing UX for my organization, because after understanding what the organization needs, you don't really have to be a graphic designer to be able to come up with a solution. The most important thing is understand the users that you're dealing with, and based on the environment you're in, you should be able to come up with some form of solution if you constantly improve your skill set within the UX field in general. I hope that helps. Messi, you're not talking to us, so.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much, Nache. Sorry, I didn't realize I was speaking my nose. Nasty. I apologize. Anyway, so you know what? Let me just use LEARNTOR as an example, because I don't want it to be like we're talking above. I started this business. I've tried for development process. We bought one template, which I've not used. I've paid developers and they just come up with whatever it is that is in their head. At the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, the reason I left my website, I just left it. And I want you guys to have an experience of how the journey to what it means to factoring in the business analysis of the website, factoring in the UX UI aspect of the website, factoring in the data. And I think it was a wise thing that I have a client of mine that I'm actually doing something for at the moment. Most of my clients, yes, they have developers that have built them websites. The building, they say it's in quotes, and they buy templates and load it up. They don't factor so many stuff. And so the website is just there as a placeholder, is not doing anything. And that kind of website cannot generate the kind of results you want it to generate because you won't have insight to help you make information. And that's why for me, I left my website, and it's actually, I've come to realize that it was a good decision for me. Website is not the number one thing that you should have. It's good that you have it, but I've done so much work. I have over 3,000 data set that I'm sitting on. And I'm not just talking about email and phone numbers, because when you hear people say I have data, that's what they resort to or refer to as data. I don't have that. You saw what Deji did with the data all this group of people that applied to for this particular class feel. That's the kind of data that has informed the kind of website I'm going to build now. And you're going to be part of that process where you have experience of what it means to actually build a website from end to end, of what it means to work within an agile team from end to end. Why collaboration? You have conflict. How do you resolve conflict? Because when you go for interviews, these are the practical things they're going to ask you. They're not going to ask you, what certification do you have? They're going to be asking you, what have you done? How did you do it? What was your result? If you don't have that story to tell, how are you going to be able to answer the question? So it's not enough to do certification, because I know Africans were very big on certification. Certification is not enough. You need the experience, and that's what we're offering. And so I can't wait for Friday when scrum.org comes there and they open a house for us to actually interact. So invite your friends. I'll share the link. Please share with your friends. Everybody needs to fill the form. It's not going to be the same link. The training is going to end on Thursday. So tomorrow I have my sister. She's a PMO. When they say guru, she will be bringing the house down. Then I'll talk a little bit about what you need to expect with regards to digital marketing. Then on Thursday, another person that is collecting Yachali's money, my big boss, my brother, Ariboje, is going to be here telling you what the industry is asking for today. Why that skill is so important. You can Google all of these things so that you can have insight. So load up your data, be ready to learn, be ready to unlearn, and be ready to engage. So, and on Thursday, I'll be able to answer all the questions with regards to the training, the pricing factor, and all of those things. Okay, we have a question. Ima says, would the 3 months training count as PDU for certification? What do you mean PDU? Let me unmute you, please. All this terminology. Spoke my language. Let me understand. Yep, you're muted.
Hold on. Hi. Can you hear me, Mercy?
Yes, please.
Okay. So at the end, I'm interested in business analysts and experts, and well done for putting this together. It's really awesome. Now, I do know that to get here, you need certifications. So I'm asking the requirements for be able to write the certifications include having professional development hours. Does your training count as this, and so that IIBA recognizes this to allow me write exams?
Oh no, IIBA, you can sit down by yourself and do the exam, and you're going to get support. I've helped people to sit for the exam and they passed it. I have so many questions, and you're not going to be doing this alone for IIBA that you can be able to answer the question and pass it. I have content that can help you, so don't worry about it. If you want to do the certification, but the cost for this 3 months doesn't cover that, you'll have to pay that out of your pocket. The only certification that
I get that.
The only certification that I'm guaranteeing is the certification for scrum.org because of the deal. And that's why I've even crashed the price. If I tell you what I initially wanted to charge you guys, a lot of you will run away. But
good to know that we have this option.
A lot of you would have run away. So I'm so grateful that they came on board. And so because of that, it's kind of changed the music and the rhythm for me right now. So a lot of that is going to be factored into the price. So if you want to leverage on the deal that is on ground, I recommend bring more people to sign up and they sign up, you get 10%, you end up not paying. But you see, the focus, if the focus was money for me, at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, if the focus was money, I wouldn't do what I've done. Bring all these brains behind to come and take you. They charge. You all know what the industry charge.
That's a lot.
So you all know what the industry charge, but that's not the focus for me. I need you guys exposed, and I need you guys to be ready. I need you guys, because it's going to require a lot of sacrifice. It's not going to happen one day. The more you do, the better you become. I hope that answers your question. Somebody asked, I'd like to confirm if we require any other tool for this remote. Of course, there will be tools. Once I wanted to move everybody to the tool now, but I've said no. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Those that make the payment, that aside from the payment, more so will the training be every day? It's not about training. You're going to be like you're resuming work. So we're going to be here. You will do the work. We'll give you tasks. We'll break all of these things down and put them in context for you by tomorrow, on Thursday. So just be patient. Today is not for that. I need to round up the session, but in one word, everybody, actually, in one word, everyone, I'm going to unmute you. Just give me, please don't speak over yourself. If somebody's speaking, just hold up. In one word, what would you say this session has done for you? In one word, in one word. And I'll get the co-host to speak. Everybody's unmuted. One word.
Eye opener.
Eye opener. Who was that?
See that growth comes out.
Thank you. Eye opener.
This was very enlightening.
Thank you so much. Who is gonna go next?
Insightful.
Insightful. Thank you. Yes, who else?
Educative.
Making us to hello. Yes.
Yes.
Hello. Give me an opportunity.
It's giving you an opportunity. I love that.
Yes.
An opportunity to be self-dependent.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else wants to go?
Yeah, for me, it's just a confirmation to say I'm on the right track.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody? Okay, everybody has spoken. Let me just meet you guys. Ari, JG, what you got to say? You know what? Honestly, I'm someone that is highly appreciative of people. I celebrate people a lot. I don't get it back in time, but I know God is on the throne. Me, I want to celebrate my mentor. This woman, she has my heart. She is the busiest person ever. When I say ever, she said to me, Mercy, you know I don't need this. But the fact that I'm staying, I'm getting some things is now adding up to me. So I think that I celebrate her, and I know she's not the only one that is doing this. I'm telling you, she's the top end of gas in the bank. I celebrate her so much. I celebrate you. No need to mention your name, but I do celebrate you. So all of you guys, I just want to say thank you for being on. Invite your friend. I will be sending an email for tomorrow. I probably will send an SMS. SMS just to remind you of tomorrow. So please, if you have not registered, please follow me on Instagram, leave a comment, tag your friends. The post is there. I'm releasing the video today. Tag your friends, get them on board and get them to leverage on what is going on. See, the job market is going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. So it's only those that are prepared. It's only those that are prepared. And it's from here that I'm going to feed you guys to organizations that are looking for people to work in their companies. Because the truth of the matter is, honestly, what happened for me with Scrum.org, I call it opportunity plus preparation met success. It didn't just happen because I went to church or went to the mosque to go and pray. I put my heart and soul to everything I've been doing. I've been giving from last year, since Tony Elumelu. In short, before then I've been giving. But on a professional level, I've given so much of me. I don't sleep till 2. So if you want to succeed, be ready to put the work in. Because when you start earning that money in a Yachali level, or earning it in dollars, you know that your life has changed. Does that make sense, guys? So please be ready to change the narrative. Enough of asking somebody for 5,000. What's that I won't do for you, really? Go and follow LEARNTOR. I'm posting the video now, and tag your friends. Tell them to sign up. You yourself, share it on your social handle. Regram it. Yeah, share it. Tell your friends. Huh? Okay? And by the way, the flyer of this is in your email. If you got an email from me, share with your friends, okay? Because by the way, don't forget of the referral bonus that is coming to you. Iyabo, wrapping up. Iyabo, Ari, Doi, the Deji. You guys have anything to say, please?
Hi, this is Yabo. Just to give everybody a bit of encouragement. The sky is definitely not the limit, and whatever you want to do, if you try it, if you work at it, you can achieve it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Ari, are you there? Ari, Deji. Anyway, thank you from me. Nache, Doi, do you guys have anything to add?
Thank you all for your time. Tomorrow is another time, so let's meet for a wonderful session tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Lukman, are you there? Okay, it's not. Okay, thank you, everybody. Doi, do you want to say anything? Nache, any last things?
Yeah, thank you all for joining the call, and I hope you guys, find your feet and get your hands dirty with LEARNTOR. See you guys soon.
Okay.
Say thank you to everyone for the opportunity to share and to learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Doi. Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you so very kindly, everyone. And I appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow. Please tag your friends. Just go there, tag them if they're on Instagram. It will be on Twitter in the morning. It will be on LinkedIn tomorrow. Just tag them. Yeah? Thank you. Bye-bye. Ooh la la.